Today's episode is brought to you by my new book, Fuck Whales, Petty Essays from a Brilliant Mind. Pre-order at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or anywhere books are sold. Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from dumb urban legends to who did 9/11. With over 2.5 million downloads, I'm your host, Madcast. Mikey's not in, but with me is BMO, the audio engineer. And as always, my top unit, Key Grip, Deputy Cadet Moderator, Rucka Ali.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. Big show today. Episode 71. 71 of these already in the can. Coming up on today's show, we're going to have the debate, should sexual predators be eligible for awards? Big debate, and it's very topical, and I'll tell you guys why later. But first, we have a recap of last week's debate, voicemail, and at the tail end of the show, we've got some headlines, as always. But I'd like to welcome our guest this week. He's a director and a filmmaker, and he said philanthropist, but maybe not. Tremain Hayhoe. Tremain, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me, Maddox and Rucka.
Yeah.
So this is pretty exciting because this is kind of an interesting thing that's never happened before. But you just wrapped the movie Rideshare. It's your first movie, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, here's something kind of interesting our fans don't know yet, and I think we can talk about this now, right?
Yeah.
Rucka and I are both in the movie.
Yeah.
Amazing. We're both actors. Thespians.
Yeah, you are. You can say Maddox thespian now.
Thespian.
Yeah.
Well, I was before, too.
Yes.
I was in a movie. I don't know if you've heard of this movie. It's called Ooga Booga.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
No.
horror movie. Yeah, it's right up your alley, because Rideshare is a horror movie as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Rucka has a pretty big role in it.
Yeah.
I don't even... No.
No.
Right.
Compared to Maddox in Rideshare, like you barely snuck him in. Like you can blink and miss Maddox in this movie, but me, I'm in a scene. I'm with probably one of the most beautiful girls in show business today. She plays my wife, Caitlin O'Connor. Woo, she was all over me.
She is beautiful. I met her at the premiere.
Yeah,
we
red
saw
carpet.
It. And and Rucka, I would say Rucka in the movie is Rucka. I think your personality, your character is pretty much just you, right?
I mean, yeah, that's how good the acting is.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean,
Yeah,
this girl was
really
all
good.
over you. You seemed annoyed. I mean, it's
Yeah.
spot on.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Living things annoy me.
Yeah. So, Tremain, this is exciting. The movie is getting distribution, potentially. I mean, it's still, everything's up in the air.
Potentially. Everything's up in the air. Yeah. We're in talks. And for an indie movie to get that kind of attention that it's gotten so far, it's pretty cool.
This is probably one of the most highly discussed, acclaimed movies, probably in quite some time. And long story short, it was supposed to come out Friday the 13th of this month, the other day. However, due to negotiations with some major distributors, it's on hold. And this could be big.
That's correct. It could be big. Or they could say no again, you know. So,
Well, one important thing we've neglected to mention is what the movie's about. So we should mention that this is a movie, and this is really interesting. It's a movie about someone who drives a rideshare service, kind of like Lyft and Uber and whatever, but in this fictional universe, it's called, what was it, Hitch?
It's called Hitch.
Hitch,
Yes.
that's right. And he murders people who annoy him. So I think the voice of the character is very much in line with my voice, because the things that annoy him are the things that annoy me. And there are some nods to some real-life events that have actually happened that have made some headlines around the web. I can't wait for people to see this movie and see what, if they can pick those out.
We'll see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I think it was a lot of fun. It's very interesting. It's a different take on a horror movie, because it's not very gory. It's not very, it's not like a slasher movie or anything like that. And the main guy has a really interesting, weird affect about him, too, the way he talks. It almost sounds like...
Mr. Plinkett.
Yeah.
Or is it Plinkett or Plunkett from Red Letter Media?
Red Letter Media, which is one of my favorite series. You guys should check it out if you guys haven't, but it's amazing.
That is hilarious. I love that.
Bradley Laberman is the actor. Star of the movie. Good friend of the show.
Yeah. We'll have him on.
Yeah.
Anyway, something to look forward to, guys. Check it out, Rideshare. I guess you will find out pretty much the same time everyone does, where it's going to be distributed, whether it's going to be
We'll have you back on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Guys, this is not Ooga Booga, okay? This is like a really good movie, okay?
You know what? Ooga Booga is a great movie.
Tremain, you should, this is a franchise. This Ooga Booga, it's a franchise begging for a
reboot?
A reboot. Okay.
Not even a
All
re-
right.
not even a
I'll have to
sequel?
check out Ooga Booga.
Either all-female cast or something.
Okay.
but something
Yeah.
needs to be done
Female
with this.
empowerment needs to happen.
Maybe a sequel. You know, do you die in it, Maddox? I don't remember. It was I blocked out that whole experience of watching that abortion.
You know what? The audience is led to believe that I do die in the movie.
Ooh,
However, to be continued? Question mark.
Oh,
Okay,
you don't know.
Doesn't the black guy initially die and fall into the body of this toy? This
Yes,
clay
correct.
toy?
Yes.
What if when you died, you come back as the most offensive Armenian action figure ever devised?
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's a concept right
Ooga
there.
Booga 2.
Wearing a tracksuit.
Ooga Tuga.
Ooga Tuga.
Oh my gosh, Tremain.
Glendale City.
I'm going to talk to Charles Band. He's the famous
Charles, you work with Charles
Yeah,
Band.
Charles Band.
Full Moon
Productions.
Pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, he's actually a hero of mine.
He's a legend.
Low key. No,
Who wouldn't be after working on Ooga Booga?
Yeah, he's done a lot of. He did Ginger Dead Man. He's done like a lot of these. He pumps movies out. Like he literally does. I think he does like 4 weeks, and he has a movie written, produced, directed, like and up. You know, he has his own platform.
Hard to
and
believe
stuff.
with a movie like Ooga Booga.
Full Moon
Rucka.
Features, dude. Full Moon Features.
Full Moon
I'll
Features,
definitely check out Ooga Booga.
Full Moon
Yeah.
is legendary.
Charles
They created
Scott.
Puppet Master,
That's true.
Reanimator.
Yeah,
they
Puppet
did,
Master.
Just classic Castle Freak. That's one of the first movies I
I
saw.
mean, the only one of those I've seen is Ooga Booga, and I refuse to believe that one took less than 10 years to write.
Thank you for first honest thing you
You're
said all
welcome.
night.
Hey, there you go. There you
All
go.
right.
Yo, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, Ooga Tuga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to Charles. This could
Okay,
be,
talk
this
to
could be
him.
a thing.
I would love to work maybe an associate producer.
Yeah.
Because
something.
fucking-
Oh, no, you're
fucking,
right.
Writing and
This is
directing.
your
I
movie,
love
bro.
to make it. Okay,
There's like
absolutely.
they're on like Ginger Dead Man 17, so I don't know. I
Yo,
don't see why-
we gotta have the rideshare Ooga Booga crossover at some point.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, Charles Band though, no joke, like definitely a hero of mine. He's doing something that I definitely want to do, you know.
Yeah,
but,
working with Maddox, that's what he's
working
doing.
with Maddox, exactly.
All right, well, we should talk about the debate from last week. And Tremaine, I want to get your thoughts on this because last week we debated what is the dumbest urban legend of all time. And we debate what do you have one off the top of your head? What's a dumb urban legend?
A dumb one. First thing that comes to mind was Loch Ness Monster, I guess, but that's not really. Is that really
that's
an urban legend?
yeah, that's an
Okay.
urban legend
An
because it
urban-
hasn't been
Well,
proven.
Actually, I'd have to say Bigfoot. I'm sorry.
Bigfoot.
I'm
Oh,
sorry for
interesting.
Bigfoot. I know there's like a whole community of people that love Bigfoot,
That's right.
but like I know behind the scenes about Bigfoot, how that started.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I wish you were on last week because one of our audio engineer, Mikey Bolts, he brought in Bigfoot as his urban legend, the dumbest of all time.
Okay, I
Yeah.
agree with him.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, unless there's a dumber one.
Well, here's what I brought
Okay,
in. Okay, and this
okay.
one lost. My urban legend lost. It voted dead last for the dumbest. Maybe because it's not that dumb. Maybe because it's plausible. But it's the girl masturbating with a hot dog. Have you heard of that?
I have not heard of this urban legend.
So this girl, all right, and the first time I heard of this, I was in Utah, I think in junior high, and some kid came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, yeah, there was this girl at my old school, huge slut, and she was at this party, and she was so horny, she masturbated with a frozen hot dog, and it broke off in there, and she died." And like, so some crazy. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then I went to high school, and someone told me the same fucking story about another girl from a different school who used a Coke bottle. And I'm like, wow, so it's bullshit. This is an urban legend. And that's the first time I learned what an urban legend was or heard of one. So that was dead last, number 4. Number 3 was Avril Lavigne is dead. Our guest Caitlin Hall last week brought in that urban legend that Avril Lavigne is dead.
Okay.
Because a lot of people think that she was replaced with a double, a lookalike a long time ago.
Was her look-like named
You know,
Avril?
My question
or
is
is it
why,
Avril
my
too?
question is why is it always got to be so complicated? You know,
Yeah.
with these urban
Yeah, it
legends.
doesn't have to be. Just
Yeah.
use a hot dog and masturbate with it. And then number 2 was Bigfoot. That was yours, Tremaine. But the
Hey.
number 1 dumb urban legend of all time is that Coke is toxic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was that yours?
That was Rucka's.
Yeah. I didn't even say that it was that it being toxic was the urban legend. It probably is toxic if you drink it a lot.
Well, what would you say? How would you phrase your
That
urban
if you
legend?
leave a fucking nail in a cup of Coke, the nail will be gone the next day.
Yeah, not
I've
the
heard
next
that
day.
too. I've also heard it's used to clean driveways. Like
Yeah.
I've also heard like if you pour it on pork loin or
Yeah.
that
That's
like
actually true.
worms come out and stuff
What?
like maggots and stuff.
No.
Have you heard of
Christ.
that?
No,
Yeah.
you use it to brine. What are you talking about?
No,
Tremain? What the fuck
no.
kind of pork are you eating, dude?
No, you put it's on YouTube, guys. Check it out.
Yeah.
People pour a Coca-Cola can on this pork chop, and maggots come out.
Well, maybe
Hours
because it's a rotten fucking piece of meat.
it could be. It could be.
Yeah, don't confuse.
So maybe it's an urban legend.
Maybe don't confuse Maddox with words like YouTube. He hasn't been on there in a while.
Oof.
Oh, cuts.
Wow. Yeah. Ass. Coming though. A lot of new videos coming. Now that my book is done and it's finally fucking coming out.
Dude,
by
congrats,
the time,
man. Congrats.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you so
This
much.
comes-
It's a physical
well,
thing.
The book comes
Absolutely.
out what day?
But actually, by the time you listen to this show,
Comes
this
out
episode,
tomorrow.
it comes out tomorrow.
Right.
And if you're listening to it on any day other than Monday when it's released, it should already be out.
Yeah.
The link is on Amazon. It should be in every bookstore. Should be on every bookshelf.
Yeah.
But you
Book
can get it
stand.
everywhere. I worked on this for 2 years. It's finally coming out. I'm super
Yes.
excited about it.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll talk about that a little bit more later in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But Coke is toxic. I guess that was the urban legend. And we talked about you can brine pork with Coke, and I've made some really delicious pulled pork with Coca-Cola brine.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Maggots didn't come out.
No maggots because I
Okay.
didn't use fucking rotten meat.
That's good.
Yeah. My trick is not rotten meat.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's
I'll
a
have to
huge
write that
huge
down.
tip.
Yeah.
That's a Maddox cooking tip. And the other thing about Coke being so good to clean driveways and shit. Have you ever been to a fucking 7-Eleven? That shit looks disgusting. Everyone's spilling Coke outside all the
True.
time, and it looks it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
True. Myth debunked right there.
Yeah.
Mythbusters.
When people come out of 7-Eleven, they're carrying their big fucking
The big gulps.
Slurpee, big
and
gulps.
It spills
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, they're
floor.
spilling shit everywhere.
Yeah.
The front of a 7-Eleven looks like a massacre. A massacre of candy. It looks like what I imagine a theater floor would look like if you turned on the lights.
After the premiere. By the way, the theater after the premiere was they weren't happy with us.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Apparently, people were quote unquote drunk and quote unquote loud and
Loud?
having a good time.
What do you mean?
And we were 15 minutes late. And then she said we were the worst audience ever. And
What?
I verbatim. Yeah, this is all
The worst audience ever. We
crazy.
didn't- It was so,
everyone, even though everyone had a great time, everyone had
Yeah.
a blast. I think we were
Wow.
15 minutes late. She got mad about
Well,
that.
we started the movie like 2 hours late.
Well,
in all
yeah, like a
fairness.
little bit late,
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to warm everyone up. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
how are we other than starting late, which the audience had nothing to do with? How are we a bad audience? See, that's a personal attack.
I felt personal because like you make
Yeah.
fun of my audience, make fun of
That's
me.
your
You
people,
know,
bro.
that's my people.
Yeah.
So
well, speaking of bad audiences, I got some voicemail.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I got a bunch of this one's a fan correction. Right out the gates, I got a fan correction from last week because I talked about how nobody knows what authors look like. Because unless an author is super famous like me or J.K. Rowling, nobody really knows what they look like Michael Crichton. And anyway, here's a caller calling in for a correction.
Michael Crichton is dead, you dumb fuck.
Okay, thanks, idiot. Yeah, thank you for the fucking... Did you...
or is it an urban legend? Is he still alive?
Yeah.
I
what's
honestly
the-
don't know. And
Yeah,
I looked
no
I
one
looked him up.
knows. No one knows.
I looked him up afterwards because after I recorded that episode, I was curious. I was like, yeah, I've never seen Michael Crichton. It's like a cashew nut. Have you ever seen a cashew nut that's in its shell? No, nobody has because they're
That's a good point.
super poisonous, I guess, and they never send them in stores with the cashew shell on. So you've never seen a cashew shell, and you've never seen Michael Crichton. So I decided to Google Michael Crichton to see what he looks like. Turns out he's really handsome. He's just like a handsome older dude. I don't know if he's dead or not.
I thought the caller was going to say there's a goddamn picture of the author on the sleeve of every fucking book.
Yeah,
Is there a picture of you on the sleeve here?
Oh hell yeah, dude! Check out the
Oh, there
jacket, the
is?
back jacket.
Let's
yeah,
get the back jacket over here.
the back book flap. There it is.
Let's
Oh
see it.
my
Can I
gosh,
see it?
on his throne, where
Yeah.
he should be.
Aw,
in the jeans, in the
Yep.
sneakers, you know.
A ripe 15-year-old picture.
Wow.
Yeah. He's
He's-
not 15-year-old shithead.
What
not
is
even
it?
not even 5.
I've seen that picture before.
Dude, that's a great throne.
Yeah, my
man.
second book.
On the throne.
Thanks, man. That's
Dude,
my throne.
that's-
You've seen my throne.
I have.
Yeah,
I
it's
have seen the throne
yeah.
now. That is impressive. It's a big throne. Very impressive.
Thank you. I do have a big throne.
Now the
Dude, who's gonna forget about that? I mean, honestly, they open up. If someone like Random Joe and like Barnes and Noble sees fuck whales, like what? I love whales, and they go in the back, like who the hell is this author?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna get this book because the king wrote this book.
There is nothing like every single page of that book has something on it.
It does look good. I know I discouraged you every step of the way in writing this. I said, who fucking reads anymore?
Yeah.
Nobody, including you, nobody reads books.
I fucking read.
But dude, it's a fucking look. It's lit, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks,
this
man.
is legit, dude.
I've got one. It looks great in my house. I don't imagine it's on my list.
Yeah, you know what?
But who cares about reading it? I have it. It looks good in my house.
It looks good on your shelf.
I will know. I put in. There's something in the book.
Yeah.
I will know whether or not Rucka has read it.
Okay.
And I'm going to find out pretty soon because fans are going to read it and they're going to fucking call your shit out. Before you read it. And I know it's going to happen. If I get a voicemail from a fan who read what they're referring to in the book before you do, you're fucked. You're fucked, buddy.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's right. You're getting a demotion. You're getting a demotion on the show.
Demotion.
Yeah.
Oh, my god.
You don't read a book.
You gotta read
demoted.
this book, dude.
Yeah.
Get to
well,
read.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Marketing. You hear that, everyone? You don't read this book, you're getting a demotion.
You're getting a demotion.
Can't get a demotion.
That's right.
So read.
Yeah. Well, it'll be.
Read,
You'll see. You'll see. And anyway, I think someone will call in and point it out before Rucka does. But here's another voicemail. Oh, this one's a famous caller. Every now and then, Tremain, we get some really famous callers into the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this one's really famous.
Hello, Maddox. This is the one and only Alexander Hamilton.
Whoa.
I'm just calling you to let you know that you're a huge asshole.
Okay.
I will have you know that New York is the place to be in this country. It is filled with nothing but the most delightful weather, the most delightful activities, and the most delightful people. You tried to defend L.A., and I have to tell you, L.A. is shit. It is filled with shitty people, shitty ideas, and shitty everything. Although you are an asshole, and although I disagree with you on what you've said about New York, I still love your work. And I will be buying your book for me and the buddies to pass around. Again, this is Alexander Hamilton. Love the show. Keep up the great work. You asshole.
Wow. What a terrible... Well, you know what? Because at the time he recorded that voicemail, L.A. was Indian territory. It was what a terrible thing to say about them.
Yeah.
Better weather in New York than L.A. We heard it here first, apparently.
Actually, which I will be in New York this week. When you're listening to this podcast, I'm going to be in New York.
So you can confirm.
I can confirm. And I will be on Michael Malice's show on Compound Media. It's called You're Welcome, Y-O-U-R, Welcome. So check that out, guys. It'll be recording on Wednesday, and I think they posted on the website as well. But I'll be on Michael Malice's show on Compound Media. Very cool. And also coming up in November, I'm going to be on the Adam Carolla show.
Oh my gosh!
Woo!
Wow!
Yeah.
Shit.
Lots coming up.
That's awesome.
My childhood dream.
Congratulations there.
Yeah,
That's
I'm super
huge.
excited to
That's
meet him.
big time.
I've been listening to Carolla since I was 16, 17 years old. Maybe when was he on Love Life? Right around that time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
96 through 06.
Yeah. So
Dude,
I was
the
listening
Man
to him
Show.
basically when I was in high school. So I've been listening to that guy forever.
Wow.
Here's another voicemail from Weird Matthew McConaughey. So last week we had a story on about some flutes in Southern California that were tainted with semen, and these were flutes that they were sending out to school districts. Well, I got a very suspicious. I got a very suspicious call from Weird Matthew McConaughey. The timing is a little odd on this, but listen to this.
All right.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the support, but I got to close my flute and recorder repair shop. There's just been problems. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's pretty bent up about that.
Very suspicious. Very suspicious call. And then we got one. These calls keep coming in because Rucka has some interesting theories about breastfeeding. Here's another caller about that. Listen to this.
Just discovered this little fun fact, and please excuse the sound of my voice as I have a cold. Breastfeeding allows a baby to give germs to the mother so that her immune system can respond and synthesize antibodies for the baby. You fucking dolt, Rucka.
Yeah.
That's
what does that
pretty
mean?
badass.
What does that mean?
That means it's the mom's body produces the antibodies
for the germs that the baby has, thus making the baby immune to those germs from the mother's antibodies.
How did the baby get immune?
Because the mom is passing antibodies in the milk.
The
from
baby's
breastfeeding.
eating what came out.
So
Yeah.
we're proponing breastfeeding.
First
is
off,
what we're
caller, give us your name and, don't just
sources.
hide behind your cold voice. Second of all, you just found this out, but you expect me to know it? You didn't know it 10 minutes ago. And third of all, All I said was, let's have a conversation about this. Sounds like we've got some new information. So sounds like breastfeeding is back on. All right.
Hey.
All right. Hey, we're
I'm
back.
not anti-breastfeeding.
We're
I was
back.
just saying, like, maybe we should revisit this. It just seems like an archaic
No, there it
tradition
is.
that we're holding on to.
But 1 step forward, 2 steps back, Rucka. That's here's another.
I'm a scientist.
Oh yeah,
He is, apparently.
we got Rucka Science Corner.
Yeah.
Here's another caller, Rucka. So speaking of Rucka being a scientist, all right, this is a caller making just a slight little correction for you, Rucka. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right, this message is for Rucka. Apparently, he doesn't understand why testicles are not inside the body. He's not very good at science, so let me explain it to him. Testicles need to be like below body temperature, so that's why.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
That's why.
That's why.
'Cause it needs
That's-
Why do they need to be below body temperature?
So your sperm don't die.
Yeah, sperm and die in the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why? Like, why though?
Why? It's why don't your sperm so that the human race can continue?
Yeah,
carrying.
no, I'm saying why can't they handle the heat?
You gotta ask the creator.
You're right. So, like, I'm just saying, like, why did we evolve this way? Was my
you're
question.
criticizing the human body now. This is for evolving
I don't remember
this way.
what I said. People
You said-
hold on to every little thing. Okay.
You said
Yeah.
said you like to tuck your balls into your body because you,
What? I said that?
I do believe that was an
It
exact
doesn't sound
quote.
like something I would like to
Yeah,
do.
we should go back and listen to the tape.
I think no. I had I had like a whole thing. I remember I was like, why? Now I get why our balls need to hang outside of us.
Is that what you
And
said?
there was a reason, but now it sounds like we have the reason.
Yeah, we have the reason.
Anyway.
It's nothing you said.
Found the reason.
Yeah. Because cum dies when it gets too hot. That's why, idiots.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's
there you go.
the technical term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Scientific.
mm-hmm.
Good thing it's hanging out there.
Yeah, it's hanging
Yeah.
out there.
All right.
Sterile.
You don't think there could have been a better way though? Like nature couldn't provide us with a better system than having our most fragile body part just hanging there in front of us?
Yeah, but at least it's protected by your thighs. I got these big beefy thighs, Tremain. You've
Yeah,
seen
there
my
you go.
thighs.
I have seen your thighs.
They're
yeah.
beefy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
my
thighs.
thighs will protect. It's like a fucking Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Fort Cox. That's what
Fort
it is.
Cox.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
You're not getting
suppose
anywhere
if you're
near my
being,
balls.
if you're being attacked from the side, then yes, they won't be able to reach your balls.
Yeah, but if someone comes to attack me from the front,
From the front.
look, I just twist real quick to
just
the
twist.
side. Uh-huh.
Or
right.
you tuck your balls between your legs like Rucka.
Yeah,
Rucka
or
Ali
like
here.
Rucka.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Apparently. Allegedly.
Where
Allegedly.
else would your
Rumors.
balls be on your body for them to be cool so that your sperm doesn't die? Your earlobes?
That would be weird.
Rucka with balls all over his ears?
Maybe if evolution was a little bit more efficient, maybe if we waited a couple billion more years before we started adjusting the environment to suit our comfort, maybe our balls would have evolved to the point where they are inside of us. Hold on here. But on the inside of the balls, where the sperm hang out, there's like an ingrown air conditioner
Oh.
that keeps them cool.
Like a cooler. Like
yeah.
like
Like a
insulation.
cooler.
You get insulated
Insulation,
balls.
absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, listen, if any callers can help out Rucka with getting balls inside his body, please let us know. But we should move on to the debate from this week. Coming up at the end of the show, I've got some quick news headlines. With me is my top unit, Key Grip Deputy Cadet Moderator, Rucka Ali. Let's hear his buzzer. And we don't know for how long. We'll see. And then Tremain, let's hear your buzzer. Trigger. There it is, and here's mine. If you hear a buzzer from any of these fine gentlemen or myself, that means that somebody has disagreed with someone else. We're calling each other out. But on to the debate this week, guys. Harvey Weinstein is the co-founder of Miramax, which produced Pulp Fiction, Clerks, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, and a bunch of other really famous movies. He was recently outed in a New York Times article in which he was accused of paying off sexual harassment accusers for decades. It was a big, big story, made ripples in Hollywood. Since the explosive article was released, there's even audio of Weinstein aggressively trying to get a model into his room. Have you guys heard this audio?
Have not heard the audio.
Oh boy, have you heard it, Rucka?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of it here.
Uh-oh.
It's a little disturbing. I'm gonna play a bit of it though, just so you get an idea of what was going on. Listen to this.
I
Sit
know,
with me,
but
I
I don't
promise.
want to.
Please sit there. Please. 1 minute.
No,
I
I
ask
can't.
you. Go to the bathroom.
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want
Go
to.
to the bathroom. Come here. Listen to me.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm not going to do anything. You'll never see me again after this. Okay? That's it.
So she's standing outside. It sounds like the hotel hallway, and he's trying to convince her to come inside the hotel. And the tape continues. It's about 2 minutes long. I'm not going to play the full thing, but listen to this.
If you embarrass me in this hotel,
I'm not
I'll stay.
embarrassing you. It's just that I don't feel comfortable.
Honey, don't have a fight with me in the
It's not
hallway.
nice.
Please, I'm not going to do anything. I swear, my children. Please come in. On everything.
So
I swear, my children.
Yeah, I swear my it's so fucking creepy, this tape. And so he's trying to coax her into the room, and what he normally does is he goes into the room, gets naked, hops in the shower, asks them to watch him masturbate or some other shit and get massages and all sorts of stuff. And she goes on, I guess in this tape you hear that he groped her the night before, and she said, yeah, well actually I'll play it. Listen to this part here. This is really creepy what he says.
I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
Please come in now. And 1 minute. And if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can go.
yesterday you touched my breast?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that.
But
Come on.
are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
No, but I'm not used to
I
that.
won't do it again. Come on. Sit here. Sit here for a minute, please.
No, I don't want to.
If you do this now, you will embarrass me. But no. Fine. Never call me again.
And then so immediately goes to manipulation and guilting if she refuses. It says, okay, bye, never call me again. And then he tries to fuck over their careers. It's really fucked up.
Why would he be embarrassed if she left?
Because I guess
it looks like she ran away from him or something. I mean, don't people leave hotel rooms all the time?
Yeah, there's a lot more to this tape and a lot more to these allegations. I mean, there's just a ton here, and this has been explosive. His wife is leaving him. He's finally admitted to some of these allegations.
He has a hot wife too. Like,
Yeah.
why is he doing all this?
I mean, why is he
with his
doing
hot
it
wife?
just on pragmatic grounds? Like, why does he need to beg this one girl to get in his room? He's a billionaire. He's Harvey.
Is he a billionaire?
I mean,
he's very
He's
wealthy.
up there. Yeah.
I mean, he's behind every big movie. Like Weinstein is like one of the
Huge.
big
Yeah.
three, one of the big
Oh
five.
yeah, he's huge in Hollywood. And for people to be coming out and speaking out against him now it does take a lot of bravery. This is like it doesn't get much bigger than Harvey Weinstein in Hollywood.
True.
Especially in Hollywood, a town that is so fickle and it's very small. Hollywood is a very small town. So if you burn the wrong bridge, that's pretty much it. You're done. Your career is over in Hollywood, and that's what the repercussions are here of potentially coming out against a very powerful man like this. Had so many people not come out at the same time, we may not be in this. And very, very huge A-list celebrities are now coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, he was inappropriate towards me, this and that." And the accusations vary from. It sounds like the most common thing was he would ask girls to come into his hotel room, undress, and then have them either massage him, or he would grope them, or he would masturbate in front of them.
He's got to be like drunk with power. Like
Yeah.
he's so used to people like kissing his ass.
Yeah.
That, like he can't accept that like one girl won't. Hook
Right.
up with
I
him.
feel like for every one that won't, there's like 50 that would. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's the same
not
thing
saying
with.
that they do that, but I mean, I know how a lot of.
What did Rucka do to get him?
I mean, we'll talk about that later.
confidential.
But,
Did you ask him not to leave, not to embarrass you?
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Rucka, don't embarrass me.
So this whole Weinstein thing that happened, still repercussions are happening. He was supposedly suicidal a couple days ago. That's what TMZ reported.
Jeez.
He was making a phone call. But again, just listening to that tape sounds very manipulative. Sounds like it might be another manipulation strategy with a guy like Weinstein. And again, it harkens back to Cosby, where you have some of these people who are super successful, super rich. They have every connection in the world. They're A-list celebrities. They don't need to do anything like this because it should be simple to meet people.
Yeah.
And yet they do. So it's got to be some like weird power tripping thing, right? But anyway, that leads us to the debate this week, because now the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences are discussing whether or not they should make Weinstein and his movies ineligible for awards. So the debate this week is, should sexual predators be eligible for awards? That is the debate. Now's your chance to vote on the website, madcastmedia.com. I'm curious what you guys think before and after listening to this debate. It's one that we haven't really had to consider very much before now, but this is something that's actually happening, and now the Academy Award is thinking about punishing him for his misconduct. Tremain, I'm going to let you take first stab at this debate. What do you think? Should sexual predators be awarded? Should Should
they be awarded? Jeez.
No, okay, let me rephrase that. should
with no. Go
Let's
with
debate
no.
this.
You should go with no.
You
Make
should
it
go with
argue
no on that,
yes.
yeah. No, should sexual predators be eligible for awards? That's the debate.
I think they lose their eligibility once they do what they did. So I would say no.
Okay, so I'm going to make a clarification here, just for new listeners of the show. I'm going to argue the other side of the debate, no matter what I truly believe. So I'm going to argue that, yes, they should be eligible for awards. Okay, no matter what I truly believe.
Even though he truly believes that, too.
Get the fuck out of there, ass. You know what, though? But let's debate this. This is an interesting topic. I think it's very topical. It's going to be a hotly debated one right now because that's what the Academy of what are they called? Whatever, the fucking motion
arts
picture
and sciences. Yeah.
So that's what's happening right now. Which, by the way, snubbed me in 2011 or something when Ooga Booga came out. Yeah,
they did snub you.
Oh wow,
huge upset.
Is that about a sexual predator type thing, or is that they just snubbed you anyway?
They just snubbed us. I mean, there were some sexual themes in the movie.
You think that if that guy, creator or director of your movie, was out there harassing women, that you should still be eligible for Best Actor?
Would I? If I was in a movie where the director was accused of some kind of sexual impropriety, would I be eligible?
Or the studio.
Well, that's the question. That's the so you're
I
saying
see.
no.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So my understanding was that anything that he's directly, personally involved in, like for getting an award, like he shouldn't. But the work can almost stand on its own, where if he's just giving the green light to it and there's a bunch of other producers, directors behind it, then I think maybe they should still be able to get an award, even though all he did was do the green light. But if he was behind it all, then no.
All right, well, listen, here's the debate, because they're talking about completely eliminating Weinstein from the Oscars, like anything that Weinstein Studios have been behind.
Right.
They're talking about completely taking them out of the eligibility.
Right.
So you need to pick a side for that debate, and then he takes the other side.
Well, I'll stick to the side. I'll stick to the side.
All right.
No,
You said no. He shouldn't. Yeah. He shouldn't be eligible for a debate because what? It's a heinous crime that he committed.
Heinous crime.
A heinous crime. It's horrible crime. Everybody
terrible.
agrees. Terrible crime. But why should the entire staff, the entire production, everyone who worked so hard and poured their blood and sweat and tears into making those movies, why should they all be punished because of one man?
Well, it sucks. It's almost like one rotten apple spoils the whole bunch. So
that's not true at all. You just fucking pick the rotten apple out. There it is. There's a rotten apple. I'm not going to eat that one. That's not the one I'm going to put in my pie.
Right. Right. But what if it was in the pie?
But what was
in the pie?
In this
is
case,
that pie going to win any awards? No.
Tremain,
exactly.
In this case, you've got a healthy tree with a bunch of healthy, good apples, and you're completely eliminating the tree because the Armenian that owns the orchard is a sexual deviant.
No, he's not.
No. Okay. What?
Trigger.
No. Okay. The tree itself. Let's say all the apples are good, but the tree itself has become rotten from the root. What do you do? Do you give the award to the tree
that's
because of the apples?
No, Tremain. That means you can't pick any good apples off that
but
tree.
what if the
that's
apples
a
are
shit
still
analogy.
good? The tree
the studio
sucks,
is
but
not
apples
the
are still
root
good.
of the movie. The studio are the ones who greenlit it and threw
they are
some
the
money
root
in.
though. Everything lives and dies on
Really?
the root of the studio.
Which studio is the root of rideshare? Well,
Hayhoe Studios.
Right, it's your studio.
Exactly.
Good point.
No, but listen, there's crew, there's people, there are caterers, there are people who work on lighting, on sound, on color grading, on editing, on scouting, location scouting, line producers, executive producers, audio engineers. There's so many people who go into making a movie. If one man fucks up on that movie, you're saying that everybody gets a black eye.
Well, only if the one man is in charge of all of it.
So you're saying like Harvey
so if
Weinstein.
it's like the PA, if the PA's like touching women or whatever, like I mean, fire the PA and then the movie should still win awards. You know what I mean? But if it's Weinstein, if it's the head of it,
but he's not the executive producer. He's the studio guy. He probably will never see the movie.
No, Weinstein is the executive producer. Oh, Weinstein.
Yeah,
no, he's not.
Weinstein.
You guys don't even know what he is. It's his studio that's behind. You know what? Do you know how you?
Yeah, he is an executive. Well, he's an executive producer in the way that he greenlights it and he gives them money.
Right, he's an executive producer,
Yeah.
which is like a figurehead, but he's not a producer.
Right.
He is a producer.
No, he's not.
He produces.
All he does is push against the director and try to take out all of the creativity and make it more marketable. So if the director says, hey, here's how the movie should be, Weinstein or whoever the studio happens to be goes, oh, no, let's go safe. Let's have a fucking dinosaur. Let's have a fucking talking dog.
Yeah.
Let's have an Armenian. Whatever it is that the audience wants to see.
It's always Armenians.
Yeah.
Look, criticize Weinstein for being a sexual predator, criticize him for being a creep, criticize him for having a neck beard, which, by the way, he fucking does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always the neck beard.
And the near.
Dead giveaway.
Because you know what else happened? You know what else happened the same fucking week? And this is a smaller... I don't think people outside of YouTube and people outside of Hollywood would even know about this, but Andy Signore... I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was one of the heads at Screen Junkies. He was one of the big producers of the YouTube series Screen Junkies and Honest Trailers. When I say Honest Trailers, that's when people's eyes light up because everybody's seen those Honest Trailers.
They're funny. Really
well,
funny.
he just got outed as being a creep, too, to multiple women. And, very aggressively trying to use sex objects on a woman in a hotel room and inviting them in, and et cetera, et cetera. And he's married and he has kids. It's a big scandal on a much smaller scale, but still happened the same week. Look, you can criticize them for their creepiness, right?
Yeah.
But Weinstein, for all his creepiness, I don't think it's fair to criticize his work as being safe. Because he's behind a lot of independent movies. Miramax is behind Pulp Fiction and Clerks and Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Those are all great movies.
So what's your point?
Well, I mean, you're saying that he's not an executive producer. He is. He is an executive producer.
So, okay.
And he's not just ramming boring shit through for
I think
audiences.
if you were to talk to, like, Tarantino and say, what was it like working with Weinstein, he would say, basically, I had the creative vision and I had to basically negotiate with Weinstein every step of the way.
You think so?
I think in that
Yeah.
case though, I think Weinstein just gives Tarantino money. He's like, hey, do your thing.
By now,
because that's like
not back
yeah.
in the 90s. Now
Right.
that Tarantino is Tarantino, it's like, yeah, you let him do what he wants. But
my question, okay,
Yeah.
if this was back in the day and it was Walt Disney, right?
Yeah.
And it was Walt Disney, it was the guy that was accused and all that stuff. Should Disney movies win awards?
I mean, some would say Disney was a problematic individual.
Walt Disney?
Yeah.
What was his deal?
I've heard he's not crazy about Jews. I've heard he may have been communist. I mean, it was the 1930s and 40s, dude. They were all fucking insane.
He wasn't communist. He outed other people that were supposed to be communists.
Oh,
he
he
actually
was-
testified in court against it. But the Jewish thing was real. Like he heard that one of the assistants was part Jewish, and then they got fired or something like that. And then also he got in a lot of flack because he had a lot of employees that were underpaid, and they all started picketing and rioting. They're like, hey, we need higher wages, and he didn't want to give it to him. Roy, his brother, his partner in crime, he goes, Walt, just go to Europe or whatever. He's like, go to Europe, like take some time off, like don't worry about it, whatever. I'll take care of things out here. And Walt was in a hotel room when he heard on the phone that his brother had just given them all raises and had given them what they asked for, and Walt ended up trashing that hotel because he was so pissed off that
Cum everywhere.
that he was getting.
That's a weird.
So anyway,
that's
yeah.
a weird story.
I've actually done
to
a lot
tell.
of research.
Yeah,
on,
okay.
Disney,
The part where
so.
he found out an assistant was part Jewish and fired them, that's, makes him look really bad. The part where he found out that his brother gave some raises out and then he trashed a hotel room, I don't know if I'm gonna,
look it up. Look it up.
I'm still ready to watch Aladdin tomorrow. I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
I'm
over
just
that.
saying that was like the worst
All right.
thing.
Well,
that
anyway,
Disney had done.
anyway,
that was a side note.
let's have
Tangent over here.
Okay, that was a great tangent.
Yeah.
Let's okay. Which side are you on, Maddox?
I'm on the side that yes, you should receive awards, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the
You think
art.
Weinstein should receive an award?
That's
Yeah,
the debate.
based on this
Okay.
fucking debate, I'm
Okay.
not
Yeah.
saying I necessarily agree with this,
You think
but
he
I'm
should
stating
What
win an
award should he win?
You think he should be eligible?
eligible.
He should be
Okay.
eligible.
Yes,
Okay.
eligible
for his work
for his
As
work.
in the work
Yes.
done by his studio.
Yeah, work done by a studio.
Okay.
and by
Look,
himself
look,
personally.
and by himself. Well,
Sure.
no, he's not. He's never going to get an award again. Look, I think for the individual, if you want to make that case, Harvey Weinstein, no, you shouldn't give him anything except maybe a jail sentence. But let me ask you this: if you go to Subway, right, you get them to make you a
Are we
sandwich.
talking about Jared now?
No.
Okay,
Actually, that's a great example. We are talking about this.
Should Subway
let's talk
be
about it.
eligible?
You go to Subway, all right?
True.
You have the sandwich artist behind the counter.
Yes.
Make you a fresh tuna sandwich with all the fixings and everything. They hand it to you. You eat it, tastes good, you enjoy it. Should you enjoy that art that sandwich artist made for you just because, or should you say, no, I can't eat the sandwich and I can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy your work of labor anymore because your spokesperson's a pedophile. That's a great example. What do you think, Tremain?
That is a good example. That's a very good example. Well, some people would say that a company is as good as its spokesman, man or woman. So if the spokesman or woman is messing up, then that whole company's messing up.
So you can't enjoy that sandwich? You can eat that sandwich, it's not going to taste
Give it
good?
to a homeless man.
What? Why would you even
Come on,
buy it in the first
feed
place?
the hungry. There's so many homeless people in LA.
You can't buy a sandwich not made by a pedophile spokesperson?
Yeah, I should hope. I should hope it shouldn't be too hard to find a sandwich.
Should the homeless guy enjoy a pedophile sandwich?
Yeah.
Like
a pedo
listen,
sandwich.
By the way, that's hold on. It's a bad equivalence because Jared is not the fucking executive
That is a good
producer
point.
of Scrubway.
That is a good point.
But he's the face
right,
of Subway.
He's the face, just like the fucking Jim Carrey is the face of The Mask. But Harvey Weinstein,
or is the mask the
Harvey
face
Weinstein
of the mask?
is the face you never see. He's just the name at the beginning.
Is the name? Should the name be changed? That's my question.
I think they will.
They're gonna want to change it.
They're going to want to change it. They're going to change everything, I think. I mean, this brand is dead.
It's kind of dead, yeah.
It's dead. It's toxic. It's dead. It's over. There's no more. There's going to be no more Weinstein Miramax company. There's going to be no more Weinstein anything. They're going to scrub his name from everything.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but like...
I mean, they probably should, but does that make him ineligible for awards? Let's say you're a sculptor. Let's say you're Michelangelo.
Yeah.
All right, you just made what's his famous sculpture? The David.
Michael. The
David.
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 Yeah, David.
David. Yeah.
David. You know, it's
Little
beautiful.
Dick
It's immaculate.
David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor David.
So you make this amazing sculpture, and then someone comes out and says, you know what? I'm accusing you of sexual assault. Do the museums go and then take all that shit down?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We would have to throw out so much of our art, you know? I mean, we would have to throw out so much of our music, the classical composers of yesteryear. Many of them were horribly, bigoted and anti-Semitic and racist. I mean, it was...
Yeah. A lot of people enjoy their art.
That's the thing, though. It's like, well, do you throw it away or do you just not give it any awards? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an important distinction.
Different.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is an important distinction.
Right.
That is the debate that we're having. Do you throw it away or do you not give them awards? Now, I believe. Okay, so speaking of Walt Disney, we talked about earlier. There was that movie Powder that came out. I think in the 90s, and one of the actors in it was I think a convicted pedophile or accused of pedophilia. Like he had sex with a 13-year-old or something like that. Like
Roman Polanski.
Roman Polanski.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a perfect example.
Yes.
Yeah, Roman Polanski won an Oscar after he was accused of pedophilia and fled the country. And not only that, he got a standing ovation when he won.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like, "Oh, this amazing piece of work, piece of art. I love this. Polanski wins or whatever." Polanski wasn't even there because he couldn't be there because if he was in there, he'd be arrested immediately, which he hasn't been back to United States since.
Yeah.
But he won an Oscar after he'd done some pedophilic
and you know what's
things.
what's really interesting and what kind of pisses me off about Hollywood is this fucking double standard.
Oh,
and
it's
such
a complete
bullshit.
double standard.
Because
God.
not even I think just 2 years ago they gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award too, didn't they?
That's insane. That is
Yeah.
literally insane. But if it was someone else, or if it was someone on like the right wing or whatever, completely ostracise them all. Like say that they're the worst, that they're Hitler or whatever it is.
Well,
And,
hold on. In this case, we've got Weinstein, who is probably no right winger, and he's being, properly condemned. So how can you make it a political
some
thing?
people are arguing that they're not condemning him enough, like Hillary Clinton didn't condemn him or whatever. Or I don't know. There's like a lot more to it, but I guess they weren't ostracizing him as much as they would if it was someone else.
I mean, all the big Hollywood liberal actresses have come out very strongly against him. And to the point where they're even coming out very strongly against people who knew about it and then didn't come out strongly enough. Like, for example, Ben Affleck on Twitter, I guess, wrote a statement saying, we should support women, we should believe them, we should trust them, we should make a better world, better environment to live in, et cetera, et cetera. And Rose McGowan, I think that's the actress, called him out for it, saying that you came to me, and when I talked to you about this shit, you came to me and you said, oh, fucking Harvey's still doing this shit. I told him to knock it off. Now, what that does, now, I don't think Ben Affleck meant for this to come across that way, but what that does is it implicates Ben Affleck in knowing about this shit.
He's almost as bad, right?
Yeah, because then the question is, well, hold on, Ben. What did you know and when did you know it? Because if you're telling this to Rose McGowan years ago, and I think, is it Rose McGowan? I don't remember the actress.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
If you told this to her years ago and you didn't do anything about it, then you might be partly responsible for this. Like, if you see this shit happening and you're not doing anything about it, you're kind of fucking responsible.
And that's what's tough when you throw a stone like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you throw a stone, you better be like squeaky clean, because people are like, wait, who's this guy saying? Because you kind of knew about this whole situation. So why are you,
Well, and then shortly after that, some people looked into Ben Affleck's past, and now they found an old MTV video clip where he was on TRL Live, the Total Request Live show, and there was a 19-year-old model on the show, and I guess he groped her. And there's like footage of this or something like that, and all the stuff is coming out, but that like happened, I guess, 20 years ago or some shit. So now, I mean, the fallout from this whole Harvey Weinstein thing may be bonkers. We're not going to see the end of this ripple for a long time. But back to the debate: should these monsters still be eligible for awards for their work, for their art?
No.
Well, so we should punish everybody attached to it. What about all the poor employees who had nothing to do with this?
Punish them.
Punish them? I mean, some of those employees legitimately may be themselves victims of sexual assault, not related to Weinstein. So now you're, in addition to them...
Or maybe they were. Maybe they got that job because he had sex with them and they didn't really want to.
That's what I want to know is how many people accepted his offer and now have a career because they accepted this offer.
Or he threatened.
And they're not going to speak up. They're like, oh, yeah, 20 years ago, Weinstein gave me this offer. Either like hook up with him and have a career or don't. I took that deal. So I wonder how many people there are. I guarantee you there's.
Well, no, I mean that's what the article said. The New York Times article said that for decades he'd been paying these women off. And so, and I saw this comment. This kind of pissed me off on Facebook. Someone on my Maddox wall posted, said, if you take money after someone has sexually assaulted you or anything like that, you're basically he's comparing them to prostitutes. And I think that's really fucked up, because the alternative sometimes, if you put yourself in the mindset of somebody who's just been sexually assaulted, okay, especially by someone who's rich and powerful and could end your fucking career, and he's giving you an option. Your option is to take some money and stay quiet about it, or to potentially try to fight it in court, have people doubt your story, have people doubt the events that occurred, have people question your credibility, and then go through a long, protracted legal battle to just win something against this guy, which you may or may not even be able to prove. I mean, if you weigh the cost versus benefit of a situation like that, you might be in the same situation where you might also take the money as well. I don't blame. I mean, it's fucking bullshit to blame any of these women for taking money.
Right. Because taking the money is easier than just going to court, going through this whole thing, this loophole.
Yeah,
thing.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's very tragic. It's fucking awful. It's disgusting that it's happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand the mindset of somebody who would take the money.
At the same time, though, I see that as these people could ruin this person's career easily with throwing one stone. And my issue is like, how credible are these sources if they're not credible? Because it seems like a lot of times if people come out of the woodwork saying like, yeah, you sexually assaulted me, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, this guy's a pedophile, or this guy's a sexual deviant or whatever. And it isn't the case. I'll give you an example. When Prince died, Prince died last year, R.I.P. I guess it was somewhere between 600 to 800 people came out claiming that they were his illegitimate child, right? So Prince Prince didn't have a will. He didn't have, he's Prince, right? So people came out of the woodworks, right, to try and claim his money, right? So it's like when you have power like that, you might, and there's a little sliver of truth to work on. I guarantee you there's some people that are out there, they're like, yeah, he groped me. I was at that event. I can prove I was at that event with Harvey Weinstein.
Well, I mean, here's where it's a little bit different with sexual assault. And this is the pattern I'm starting to see more and more again with these cases that come out, like Andy Signor and Harvey Weinstein, is where there's smoke, there's fire. It's not just one person.
Right.
It's not just a couple people. It's like dozens of women. And for them to all come out and tell very similar stories, corroborating with times and dates and events and other people, and even men like Ben Affleck, who was kind of even tangentially related and just met Harvey Weinstein. He'd heard of these stories as well. Seth MacFarlane made a joke he may or may not have known at the Academy Awards in 2013 when all these women were nominated for a movie. He said, now you can stop pretending to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and then and there has to be some truth in that joke. So you wonder. It's like there, a lot of jokes have a little bit of truth to them. That's why a lot of them are really funny.
Well, there is that undercurrent in
Not
Hollywood.
saying that was funny, but anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. There's truth in comedy.
Yeah,
and so that's when Seth MacFarlane said that. I mean, you start to think in the back of your mind, because there is that stereotype in Hollywood where people come out here and they have to work their way up the ladder, and sometimes it's through sexual favors and things like that. Look, I myself, as a man, have been propositioned in Hollywood.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
No, I don't want to get into details.
Tell us. I want to get into
So you're enabling the predators?
No, I've not. It's nothing like that.
Well, we got to tell on these people.
There are opportunities that I have had.
Guys or girls?
They're girls?
Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, girls.
Were they attractive?
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
So hot girls are offering you career opportunities if you have sex with them?
It's one of those things. Well, it's not necessarily just sex, but it's one of those things where I know if I engage in some kind of relationship with this person who is very powerful, as a studio head, as a production company, etc., or agents or managers, like if I do that, then I could potentially further my career. But it's I mean for a number of reasons I didn't want to go down that path. But those opportunities do exist. They do present themselves sometimes. So that's that undercurrent in Hollywood that people think like, okay, this is something that kind of happens, and we joke about it sometimes, like Seth MacFarlane did. But how much truth is there to it? Apparently a lot.
MacFarlane's joke was kind of like, yeah, girls need to kind of be nice to him and sort of pretend that they would want to hang out with him anyway. But that's quite different than saying you need to have sex with him to have a career.
No, but based on that tape that I played earlier,
yeah, the tape, absolutely.
I mean, it sounds like not only was he propositioning them, but he was threatening them that if you don't, you're done. Don't ever talk to me again. And then there was a girl, I forget, one of these women who came out and she said that she very strongly was opposed to Harvey Weinstein's advances, and he tried to ruin her career every step of the way. And just, I mean, this guy, he sounds almost like a sociopath.
Yeah.
Lacks complete empathy and puts his thumb on the scale to fuck with you every chance he can get. I mean, that's the hallmark of a sociopath, just a lack of empathy.
So should he win awards?
Should this monster win awards? So,
be eligible.
Should he be eligible?
Should be eligible.
So we're still waiting for that debate. So what do you got?
I mean, the fundamental question it comes down to this is art less valuable because someone deplorable made it? Let me ask you this, Tremain. Yeah. Are you a suit guy? Do you wear suits?
Only in movie premieres when I'm premiering my movie. Rideshare.
Yeah, nice suits. You like a nice suit?
I do.
Yeah, like a Hugo Boss?
I don't know. I went to Hollywood Suit Outlet and got a suit.
Those Hollywood Suit Outlet commercials are hilarious.
Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss, yeah. Very nice. Very nice suits.
He's got a dark past. Skeletons in the closet.
Hugo Boss created all the Nazi uniforms. That's right. The Nazi uniforms, they were very trim, they were very cut, very stylish, very stylish uniforms.
Fascists tend to dress cool.
Yeah. I mean, you can't spell fascist or fashion without fashion.
Jeez.
And Adidas and Puma was created by two brothers, both Nazis.
Is that true?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Huh. American Apparel guy apparently is
he's kind of a creep too. Yeah, American
That's
Apparel.
American Apparel.
That's a great example. So should you stop supporting these companies? I mean, first of all, that's an ethical question. If you want to stop supporting these monsters, but then there's all these people who buy into all these products like Nike, with
Nike
sweat labor, sweatshops. But
Apple has a lot of sweatshops too.
Absolutely, and Apple wins
like
tech awards all the fucking time.
Yeah.
We can't get into this debate, but you can equivocate Nike. their labor practice in China with being Nazis. It's just not the same.
Or Harvey Weinstein.
Or Harvey Weinstein, coercing.
It's different, apples and oranges, but it's kind of similar. Kind of similar.
It's really not.
The similarity is this: these companies do win awards for their products, okay, and they are sometimes complicit in some heinous practices themselves. So should they not win award? Like, should we separate the art from the person who created the art?
Right.
That's the question.
That is a question.
Yeah, and so this is what the Academy Awards is going to debate. Now, I'm very curious to see what their decision is. Actually, the day of this recording is when they're going to deliberate on whether or not they should make Harvey Weinstein movies still eligible for awards. So it'll be very interesting to see their decision, especially because they gave Polanski a pass. And who's that guy? The Nebuchadnezzar dude?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, yeah.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what I was talking about.
He, what's, is it, so he...
he married his stepdaughter?
Right. Okay, I always thought like he adopted her, raised her, and then had sex with her. Married
her and had sex with her.
Yeah.
He adopted her at an age when she was not legal, I think when she was 16. And then when she became 19... That's when he had sex with her and married her.
I think Ted Nugent like adopted his 17-year-old girlfriend at one point.
Really?
I think
That's so fucking weird. Ted Nugent.
Yeah. Well, at the time he was probably in his 20s, so it's
He's
not like
the dude. He always wears the cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Creepy.
He's from Michigan.
That guy's nuts.
He's a Detroit loudmouth. Absolutely.
Where are you from, Rucka?
Detroit.
Detroit. Oh my gosh! Wow.
And he's never heard of Bob and Tom, so I'm not sure if that checks out.
Oh yeah. Well, why don't you let me know which station they're on?
I don't fucking know what
How
Detroit
the fuck
stations.
should I know who they are?
I don't know Bob or Tom.
Yeah,
Bob and Tom show.
Fucking these 50-year-old guys expect us to know all this shit.
I'm not.
I know Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Now you've lost me completely.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey guys, speaking of tigers, how about fuck whales?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Today's episode is brought to you by Fuck Whales, guys. It's finally out. My book, this thing I've been working on for 2.5 years now, I think. Tremain is holding it up. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, this book is, I think, it's the book I think I would have written as my first book. I wrote The Alphabet of Manliness. It came out in 2006, and that was a New York Times bestseller. Huge book, huge successful book. But when people come to my website for my writing, they've always followed me for my writing. That's what I'm known most for. I mean, I know I do the podcasting stuff. I do the YouTube stuff. I'm working on Twitch streams and animations and all these different projects I've been working on for years. But my writing has always been my bread and butter. And this book is some of my best writing I've ever done in my life. If you're a fan of my work at all, any of my work, check this one out. I think you guys will really like it. I can't wait to hear the reviews. I can't wait for send them to me on Snapchat, send them to me on Instagram. I'm going to publish some of the best ones. Tweet them at me. I appreciate it as the pinnacle of literature.
Wow.
And that's exactly what it is.
You guys are going to love this book. Fuck whales. I've only read a little bit of it. It's really under lock and key right now. But by the time it's out, you guys got to check this book out.
You can read I got in an argument today with someone who said, "Hey, Maddox, whales are really majestic. You'll regret it when they're gone because they're going to be extinct." What's majestic about a whale? Anytime something's big, it's automatically majestic. Do you even fucking know what that word means? Majestic? It doesn't just mean big, idiots.
Well, don't whales like fly out of the water and squirt water in the air and do all kinds of majestic
whales
shit?
also, they can call hundreds of miles away. It might even be thousands of miles, which is ridiculous. They can do their cawing. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, their whale songs.
Their whale song. They do underwater whale songs
Tremain,
that last hundreds of miles.
My friend, let me tell you about whale songs. They fucking suck. All right? Whale songs sound like shit.
I'm triggered.
Whales can't sing worth shit. They're fucking. And by the way, it's not a
what
song.
What about Free Willy? Didn't like Free Willy, right?
No, I never.
He's seen parts of it. But when I think back of the biggest ripoffs of my childhood, I think Free Willy is probably the dumbest thing. Just whales are so dumb. I'm with you on this now.
Yeah.
How dumb was that? The kid, he's an orphan or his mom is a fucking meth addict. He ends up in a foster home.
I agree with you. Forget Free Willy. That was a terrible, horrible movie. But I like whales, so I'm just gonna say.
What do you like about whales, Tremain?
I like killer whales. They look badass.
They do look cool.
They look like
cows. They look like
Yeah,
fucking cows of the seas.
Yeah, they
Good
are the
point.
cow of the sea.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what they call them.
No one calls cows badass.
If you like how whales look, this book has a beautiful whale right on the cover.
Yeah,
And
you
this
got one on
book
the cover.
looks cool.
Thanks,
point
man.
being is it's going to get people's attention because people are
Yeah.
like, wait a second, I love whales. Or if they hate whales, like, yeah, fuck whales. I love this book.
You know what's funny is that Comic-Con, I had a bunch of stickers I was giving out for this book, and there was a number of people who came by and took multiples, and they came and did multiple trips, and they were in the fishing industry. And it's a bunch of salty fishermen and fish women too. They came up to me and they're like, "Hey man, can I get an extra sticker for my friend?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they said, "Yeah, my friend would love this. He's a fisherman or she's a fisherman." And they are so fed up with these fucking whales because they're always getting caught. Anyway, guys, check out the book. Rucka, do you have a wrap up for us?
Yeah, fisherman at Comic-Con, huh? All right.
There were some at Comic-Con.
Okay, now you're talking, and now right off the bat, we know we're not off to a good start. Listen, this industry's fucked up, man. It's like these fucking. Here's the thing. Here's the lesson to learn from all this shit, and we still haven't even grazed the surface of the actual debate. Should these be eligible for awards? Because it was not discussed whatsoever. But
we discussed it.
You're talking. But it was discussed, but not debated. Listen, yeah, absolutely. You can't fucking take. The whole point of an award show is this one thing better than that thing? Which one is the best? If the work of art deserves an award, then you have taken an oath. Okay, you are a judge or a fucking voter of a fucking award show. You have taken an oath. It's nothing personal. You need to give the award to that which merits it, even if it came out of Nazi Germany, even if it came out of Walt Disney, even if it came out... You're talking.
Sorry.
Even if, no matter what, no matter who did it, you've taken an oath. But yeah, the lesson of Harvey Weinstein is that no matter how powerful you get, no matter how many people are kissing your ass, you can never escape reality. You fucking behave a certain way, it will catch up with you. And you know what? Even if these girls never squealed, even if they never snitched on him, deep down, he would always carry it with him. He would always know that he never had any game, and he had to pressure these women, and that he's undesirable. You want to get girls to voluntarily enter your hotel room, you got to have some swagger in this town. You got to have some game. That's it. You got to know that you're cool. You got to know you're the man.
It's a Rucka wrap-up.
I guess that's the wrap-up right there.
Was it? I'm sorry.
Well done.
Anyway,
Rucka. That was really well done.
Yeah,
Good
it
job.
was. Thank you. You all have the floor now.
All right, good job, Rucka. Good
Yeah.
wrap up. And by the way, guys, I want to see what you guys think of this debate, what you guys truly believe. I'm curious what the audience believes about this debate. It's really interesting. Madcastmedia.com. Don't forget to vote on the website. But anyway, now it's time for some quick news headlines from around the web. I got some interesting ones this week. A mother has been jailed for refusing to vaccinate her son, and now she's outraged that he's been immunized. So they jailed her, and then they gave this kid vaccines. What do you guys think of that? There's a little mini debate.
Yeah, that's a whole nother debate right there. Wow.
Yeah.
I am 100% on board. Fuck the mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
Dumbass.
thought you hate kids. Don't you want them to get devaccinated so they get sick or whatever?
No, I hate kids, so of course I want them vaccinated. First of all,
Why?
you're pricking them with a needle. That's hilarious.
Yes, but
And second, they're fucking little germ machines.
Uh-huh.
They're just
'Cause
walking.
They could spread.
Yeah,
but if
they're
you-
living
yeah,
petri
yeah,
dishes.
if you've been vaccinated, then what do you care that you can't catch it?
That's not how vaccinations work, Rucka.
It's not?
Vaccinations work as okay. Again, we got Rucka Science Corner.
I'm
here.
asking a question.
Okay, so for vaccines to work,
Yeah.
you have to have a certain threshold of the population to have them, so that vaccines work as a whole. It's like herd immunity. You can't just vaccinate one person or two people and hope that nobody... Because vaccinations sometimes don't work 100% of the time either.
Oh.
So that's why you have to have
Everyone.
enough people vaccinated so
Yeah.
that,
I think jailing is pretty extreme. Maybe a fine would suffice.
Fine?
Like give her a fine for
Like a
you
parking
know what I
ticket?
mean? Yeah, don't arrest her. You know what I mean? Give her
I
a
don't know,
ticket.
dude.
Don't arrest her.
All these
Well-
anti-vaxxers are just such a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from Michigan. A Michigan mother
course.
said she had a few...
Of course.
Of course, Ted Nugent probably doesn't vaccinate his kids.
You know that guy doesn't. She said she had a rough few days after serving nearly a week in jail for defying a court order to have her 9-year-old son vaccinated and then learning that he received several immunizations after she was locked up behind bars. Good. moron.
So she had the warning before.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had a court
All
order
right. Okay.
telling her that you need to vaccinate this kid. Now, look, guys, this is where I think the conflict of personal freedom clashes with government and regulation. Because if you have a child, most people agree you should decide what's best for him or her. She says here this is a religious exemption. She's saying here it's against my religion. I don't want my son vaccinated. And then the state said, well, tough shit. You have to. Now, this is one of those things where a lot of people might come down on one side or the other of the law. But there was a case in Utah not too long, I think about 6 to 8 years ago, where a couple was also, I think, either arrested or jailed because they refused to give their son treatment for cancer. They said, well, we don't believe in this. We don't believe in this. It's against our religion. We want to be exempt of this. And they said, look, there's a really high probability that your son will survive this cancer if we give him chemotherapy. And you're denying that opportunity for your son to get this treatment, which is going to kill your son. Should the parents be allowed to make that decision on behalf of their child?
I think at that point, it's not in their hands. Like, it should be
right
in the doctor's hands or something.
Well, that's kind of what they decided in this case, too, I think.
What was their religion?
I think they were Mormons.
Christian Scientist.
Something, I don't know. I mean, it's in Utah, so maybe Mormons.
With cancer, it's like so clearly life or death. Like, if the kid's not treated, the parents are essentially killing him. So, like, there's clearly the parents are committing murder if they don't give him the chemo that's available. With vaxxing, and I know it's a little more controversial, there are a lot of loudmouths, McCarthy, whoever the fuck, all saying that, that the jury is still out on vaccination. So I can see why people would say it's more nuanced. But with cancer, it's like clearly life and death, right? I mean, is there a type of cancer that if you just leave it alone, it goes away?
Sometimes tumors become benign on their own, but
right.
it's rare.
I guess I'll go get some cancer then.
Well, it's like with Bob Marley.
Maddox's Science Corner,
I think
everyone.
Bob Marley and
Medicine with Maddox.
Everything I just said is correct, shithead.
Everything I say is correct.
No, it's
There's
not.
a new Surgeon General.
Vampires have scared and triggered a mob into violence, and it prompted the UN to pull their staff in Malawi. Did you guys hear about this? This is an actual thing that's happening right now. 2017 is fucking bonkers.
Wait, what? Vampires?
Vampires, that's right. The United Nations has pulled their staff out of 2 districts in southern Malawi where a vampire scare has triggered mob violence in which at least 5 people have been killed. Belief in witchcraft is widespread in rural Malawi, one of the world's poorest countries where many aid agencies and NGOs work. A spate of vigilante violence linked to vampire rumors has erupted in Malawi since 2002, and at least 5 people have been killed in the area since mid-September by lynch mobs accusing them of vampirism. It is said that the mobs are searching for vampires, and they've been mounting roadblocks and checking people's cars for signs of vampirism, if they're drinking blood, I guess. I don't know what other...
Can we take
this
away
is
their
on
cars?
our planet? This is on...
Yeah.
actually happening?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They're gangs of vampire hunters going around in Malawi right now.
Where the fuck is Malawi?
What else? I guess they don't have anything better to do out there.
Where
There's
is
like
Malawi? Where is that?
It's in Africa, right?
Is it?
Instead
Yeah.
of Dog the bounty hunter, it's Vlad the vampire hunter. I don't know.
Vlad the vampire. I would watch that fucking...
I would watch that show too.
Except it wouldn't be Vlad. Vlad is the
yeah,
vampire.
you're right.
Yeah.
Vlad would be the vampire.
Yeah.
It would be the.
Yeah.
Malawi, it's an African country.
Oh. Well, hey, send them some money.
Yeah. But, let's make education not compulsory.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that their problem?
That's their problem.
They don't have enough socialism in Africa? They don't have enough government telling you how the fuck to live your life over there? It's all dictatorial over there.
I know, but they Malawi's...
They need science. They need personal freedom. They need all kinds of good things
No
that you
one's gonna
advocate
learn
against every single day.
No one's going to learn that shit if they don't have to. No one's going to pick up a science book. Learn about why your balls hang outside your body.
No?
No.
All right.
But I looked it up. I was actually curious what the literacy rate in Malawi, and it's about 65%, which is higher than I thought.
Yeah,
not too bad. Higher than I thought. But I found out that school in Malawi is only compulsory for 8 years. So it's from the age of 6 until about 15, which is kind of close.
Maybe it's a little bit more. It goes a little deeper than just are people being forced into a classroom. It's like, what are the values of the culture? Like, do they value science versus superstition? Maybe that's kind of a more essential thing. So maybe government forcing people to do a bunch of shit is not always the entire solution to everything, is all I'm saying. But hey, it's just silly Rucka with the Science Corner again. Yeah.
There it is. That sound means you just heard a straw man argument.
It means Maddox is out of arguments.
Well, we are out of time.
Yeah.
Tremain, thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, where can people find you? I'll link to all your social.
Awesome. My personal is at Tremain Hayhoe on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And Rideshare the movie. If you follow Tremain, you'll find out more, because I guess we're all going to learn at the same time what happens to it, right?
Yes, absolutely. So Rideshare movie at Rideshare movie.
Yeah. Surprisingly good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good.
That wasn't good, because indie movies can be either hit or miss.
All movies, all horror movies
all
to
horror
me
movies.
are uninteresting.
Right.
Mostly, it's like, who fucking wants to see another fucking irrational killer go around hurting a bunch of people for no reason? But this movie is funny and it's fucking interesting.
It is interesting. I will echo those compliments. It was, I mean for this to sound like a compliment, but it was much better than I expected, and I'll tell you why. It's because Tremain hit me up like 2 days.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Tremain hit me up like 2 days before the premiere. Is like, hey, man, I need you to be in a bit part for this movie. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking in my back of my mind, I'm like, wait a second, the movie Rucka's in that's coming out, the premiere's in 2 days? And I sent him some footage, and it's like, it didn't make in the cut in the premiere, but you're saying that it may make it.
It will make it.
Will make it. Okay,
it
will be in the movie.
So that's why I thought,
what
what kind of fucking fly-by-night operation is this? and then I go watch the movie, and it's so well done. I think honestly, other than a few audio cues here and there that you said you're still working on, the movie was very well produced, very well shot, very competently acted. This is an independent movie made by an independent man. No Weinstein behind it.
No women were harmed. No women were coerced.
Nope.
That's right.
Nope.
That's correct.
All professional. Mm-hmm. But apparently we're the worst audience.
And talk about beautiful girls.
Yeah.
This movie is just, oh my God.
Packed with babes.
Yes.
Y'all should have come to the red carpet event, the premiere.
We saw Tay Zonday there.
Yeah, Tay was there. Tay was there. Yes, Tay's a good friend of mine.
He's a good dude. We grabbed a bite with him afterwards too.
Oh, great.
We may have Tay on a future episode of the show.
Oh, you absolutely
Yeah, we'll talk
should.
about that. But anyway, Tremain,
thank you guys so much for having me. It was an honor to be on here.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
It was an honor.
Thank you to my top unit key grip deputy cadet moderator, Rucka Ali.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening, but most of all, you're welcome.
Hey, this is a message to the foremost academic. I was listening to the Cult podcast, and I learned how to pronounce macabre. I thought it was pronounced as something like macabre or macabre. I don't know what I thought it was. But to thank you for teaching me how to say that word, I'm going to impart some knowledge onto you. Castration is not when you cut off the penis. It's when you cut off the testicles.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, get any more testosterone. You don't have a sex drive. And Maddox, if you had done that to yourself when you were younger, you'd still have all your hair. Thanks a lot, guys. Love the podcast. Kiss a Nazi, kiss a commie, and fuck furries.
Huh. So all I have to do is cut out my balls to have hair? No, thanks.
Yeah, I'd rather have balls than hair.
You can tell how big my fucking balls are by how bald I am.
Right.
Yeah. Balder the head, bigger the balls. That's right.
Yeah.
Smart. Huge nuts. Suck them. Here's one more.
It's Utah, so I sort of believe that people are masturbating with Coke bottles and hot dogs, frozen or not frozen. But it's Utah, so I would think that they're probably just putting it all up their ass.
Mm-hmm. He's not too far off, man.
That's true.
Yeah. Chicks in Utah are all into anal because they think they're virgins.
Wow.
Yeah. Tremain thinking about moving to Utah.
I'm actually going to Utah Saturday.
Oh, shit.
That'll be fun. Yeah, doing a screening of Rideshare there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sundance
yeah.
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, actually
Is that really it?
The same, not Sundance, but
Park City.
It's a theater.
It's like down the street.
Which theater? We should mention this. We'll give him a plug.
I don't know the theater name.
You know what? I
offhand.
probably do. It's probably the Tower.
Okay.
On 9th and 9th. Guys, go check out the Tower on 9th and 9th on Saturday. You may or may
not see Rideshare there.
Yeah. You'll see something.
We'll be at Shots. What is it? The Shotties or festival thing where everyone takes a shot of beer all at the same time. We'll be there in Utah on Saturday. I don't know.
All right.
Oh, there you go. You might be able to see Rideshare. You might see me and Rucka in a movie. Here's one last one.
Also, to tag up the last one, I heard the problem with the Coke bottle is the section. It gets sectioned up there because of the lubrication and the tight walls. So I heard what they have to do to get it out is they have to drill a hole in the bottom of it to, like, release the pressure. I don't know if that's true. I would hate to have fucking, fragments of glass in my puss. But luckily I don't have one or any glass.
Is that true, scientist?
Drilling. Listen, vaginas are complicated. Okay, gotta like drill holes into the bottle now to get it out. It's like, you ever wonder if maybe like the female is actually like the vagina is the real face, is the real purpose? Oh no, I just mean like
what?
What if our genitals are like, who said that our face and our head is up here? Maybe like it's our genitals that are actually what's running the show. Maybe everything else is just built around that.
I love these nuggets that get dropped at the tail end of each show. Oh man, Rucka Science Corner.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye.
Madcast Media Network.